DreamHack Masters Las Vegas is brought to you by Asus, Republic of Gamers, HyperX, Monster Energy, live at MGM Grand.
It was said by Auguste that there's a lot of ways to numb the pain in Vegas, and elimination is on the cards for another team now. Who will join Complexity and who will have to heed his advice? We will find out as our next game is about to begin. It's Misfits versus Fnatic here for DreamHack Masters Vegas, and this could be interesting. Yes, indeed, Fnatic trying to retain their former glory that the name, the organization, and the players themselves have forged over Counter-Strike Global Offensive's life cycle, and now myself, Machine, Moses, Chad, and of course Yanko are going to try and explain exactly why this could be a problem for Fnatic. I want to just start that kind of thread where we do analyze that Misfits, yes, we've only seen a little bit of them, but could actually make this game relatively interesting, as this is, of course, Group B, and it is one of these teams going home, Jason.
Yeah, well, I mean, the big thing with Misfits, obviously, is that talented, like, that three-man core of, like, just strong.
It's big,
strong
right?
Yeah, it's one of the more promising cores, especially when you think Sick and Twist coming up in North America. But I think the big thing is, we've seen Sean do it in the past with Fnatic specifically, find ways to, you know, he's one of those in-game leaders who very much looks at the details and finds ways to counter, like, specific things that people do, tendencies of the opposing teams. And we've seen him do it in the past with the Cloud9, make them competitive against Fnatic doing very similar things. If he can do that again here, it's going to be tough. This is even more loose or more random, because that Fnatic lineup's so at Pronac. So this is one that is literally just kind of do whatever you feel like in this round, very individual. The benefit that they might have, I think the biggest possibility of an upset here is if Fnatic comes out like they did yesterday and just don't hit their shots. I think what Taz said yesterday was very, very true. If they come out and they hit their shots, they're probably going to beat people. If they can't hit their shots, then it's just over.
And this is a question I think that's a lot of people would like answered, is that, yes, we've seen, and Taz himself is saying that if you hit your shots, you win, but surely banking on that, Chad, makes the margin for error oh so slim. Like, I mean, you basically have one win condition, and it's relying on 5 or a handful of people performing.
Yeah, well, it's not a good go-to by any means, but I think it's a good thing to have, right? So with Fnatic, they do have the skill players where any of them can step up and carry a game. But what you're relying on is your players just to actually make their frags when they need to. Everybody knows how to play the fundamental style of Counter-Strike, and then they're flashy on top of that. So it's not like we're just saying they need to hit their shots, because that is Counter-Strike, right? Everybody needs to hit their shots. But the tactical prowess and the way that they approach the game is a lot looser. So it's hard to kind of predict as well. Even though they have tendencies and stuff, and you can look at the way they do things, it's hard to know what's actually going to come out of them. For me, I think the good thing with Misfits is they can prepare and they can come up with a good T side again. But when you're getting bullied as CTs, it's very difficult to deal with, right? You need to actually have gimmicks, I call them, or aggressive plays to catch Fnatic off guard.
Do you think the point you made in our previous match with Complexity and in terms of trying to gain your opponent's respect, do you think that applies here as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Even more so.
Even more so? Wow, elaborate.
Against Fnatic.
Right, that's how they treat most people.
Fnatic disrespects teams like VP, let alone Misfits. I mean, what can you say about that one? I feel that the thing about the loose playstyle and all of that is a matter of teams who have weaker individual players. They need to use, for example, strategies to put their players into favorable positions when it comes to actually having a duel, or not even having a duel, having crossfires, 2v1s, and things like that. Fnatic, because of the immense individual skill and the way they approach the game, they don't really need that. They're perfectly comfortable in having 50-50 duels all the time, or even being at a disadvantage, because they have the confidence that their players can outmatch their opponents. So that's why you see, because of the level of skill has risen, in my opinion, in the past year or so, it's more difficult for them to just go about with that style.
And confidence is a really key word. An interview Olaf gave when he did return from his injury was like, I don't think I'm actually playing any differently. I think I'm still, as a person, the same CS player, but I've lost the confidence that I had. And so he doesn't go for the same plays that he would have gone for, and therefore the plays, the clips, the success doesn't necessarily follow. I do want to take an opportunity now just to quickly bring up the group to show you guys, put it into context why we're in this position. That's right, Virtus.pro and Gambit are in the upper bracket playing for playoffs, and Misfits and Fnatic are trying to stay and keep their heads above water. Fnatic conceding a rather convincing loss versus Gambit.
Well, I mean, that's the fact that we say it's convincing is also the product of Fnatic's playstyle. When it doesn't work, when they're not landing those shots. I mean, they take very aggressive angles, very risky angles, make very risky plays that if they don't pan out, then it's just like, well, this just looks ridiculous. Like that's just kind of part of the style of what they do. More often than not, it worked. I mean, you talked about the margin for error for this kind of a playstyle. This isn't like the margin of error is very, very slim for this kind of a playstyle when we're talking about some of the lower end North American teams. It's much wider on Fnatic because they have the Olafs, they have the JWs and the Flushes, guys who have been the best in the world in the past, so they have a little bit more leeway in terms of what they can get away with.
And one name you didn't mention there, and while we are talking about Fnatic having strong individual prowess, it would be foolish not to bring in another of our Masters of Series. You saw Simple, the master of the unexpected, and now we venture into, you may have guessed it, Dennis, master of the pistol round.
Dennis is extremely good on these pistols to start that momentum off. Fast play, very fast play, and there it is! Oh my god, Dennis on cue, on point, all 3 kills again!
I have no idea why I'm the master of pistol rounds actually. I just play the game and I'm good at the pistols, I don't know why.
So I have some experience playing Dennis on pistol rounds in the past. When I was on Liquid, we played Fnatic on Kabul, and we were in like a 3v5 or something, and then Dennis kills all 5 of us.
With the ace!
It's confidence and I know I have great aim. That's it.
Classic banter.
So humble, so humble.
I'm amazing.
But that is like the essence of Fnatic, right? Why are you guys so good? Why are you winning everything? Oh, I don't know. We have confidence and we kill everything.
Yeah.
Flash a strat book.
Or just be good, full stop.
He's got that Donald Duck comic, Duck Wings comic.
Oh, fantastic. This is their opponents, though. Fnatic are going up against Misfits. Dennis is going to be making their life difficult in the pistols, and of course, there he is himself. None other than Dennis, Olaf, Flusher, JW, and Crims. They've got the 4 hats here. I'd have preferred 3.
Yeah, 3 is the limit.
I think 3 is the limit of hat success, yeah.
It's nice to see him back in the monster gear, though. For sure.
Yes. JW.
But I mean, this is also part of the struggles, I think, this new Fnatic lineup, and some of the questions why when this comes in, we don't obviously all come out and just say, this is just going to be a dominant team again, because, you know, the last time we saw them, that was when players were at the top of their game. That was pre-injury Olaf, and like you just mentioned, he knows that he hasn't gotten back to that level where he was the best player in the world for over a year straight. Yeah. We had, like, JW outside of that brief period in Godsent right around the major and the major qualifier hasn't looked like the JW who was in Fnatic, and it's the only player who's really stayed at that level has been Flusha and Dennis. And then even outside of that, Crims is an important role player on this team, and he hasn't looked up to par outside of the major. So they do have a lot of question marks if these players can get back to that individual level that allowed them to create a dynasty.
And wasn't that dynasty forged primarily because of the amount of hard work, grit, determination that they displayed at the start of CSGO? They were one of the first to kind of adopt it and try and leap into it.
Obviously not Olaf, Dennis and Crims, but from the JW and Flusher perspective, yeah. When I used to talk to Flusher in the early days, he was like, yeah, it's like I will learn the game and learn and use whatever I can to win. That's going to sound really bad. People are going to, anyway.
Jesus, Chan.
You did that.
Actually, I do have an interesting story about Flusher. I think you might remember this from one of the very first Pro League finals we did. We had Devilwalk as an analyst, who was the former coach and teammate, and he mentioned that one of the reasons why Flusher's, I mean, I don't know how much stock you want to put in this, but one of the reasons why Flusher's playstyle can be so weird at times is because when he initially started playing CSGO, he didn't have a computer that could get full FPS. He was getting like half the FPS.
Yeah.
So there were certain portions of the map where he just couldn't attack as a player because his FPS would drop down to like 20. Yeah. So he had to base his style and how he played the map. Now, I don't actually know.
I love it.
That's a great story. If that is true, I would love to hear it from Flusha. But like,
I think that's the excuse my teammates use as well.
That's the weird.
Our FPS sucks. We can't go through a smoke.
But it would just be an incredible thing.
I just love the idea. Like, you know, he goes into a matchmaking game. Hey, can you play B? I physically can't play B.
Yeah,
literally.
Flusher, could you please flank down ladder now? He's like, no, ladder room, I only get 10 FPS.
No, sorry. Yeah, he just like beefed his complete suicide instead. Anyway, moving away and into Misfits, because these guys are going to have to go really hard at the start. That seems to be, you know, we talk about strong starts, but you want to knock Fnatic's confidence, right, Chad? That's what you do. You start well, and Sean Gers can guide these merry men. And look at that, big smile on Shazeb's face.
Before the game, of course.
Well, yeah, we'll see if he's smiling after the game. But I think for both these teams, actually, they should be starting off on the T side to actually garner some confidence. It would be good for Misfits to start off on the T side of any map because then they can run with their game plan and they're not going to be shaken. We always praise Sean's tactical prowess, right? And we always talk about that. But the thing is, you can prepare a team, but you need the players to actually, go out there and do it. And Sick and Twist need to show up and be stars because those two are the future of this team, and they are the stars who need to make the frags, and they're the ones you need to look to. They're so young. I think Twist is like 16 or something, right? Like he's a baby.
17 now, I think.
Okay, well he's still
he was
basically a fetus.
Did you see the tweet from Sick? He was like, "Hey guys, made it to the MGM Grand. Check out the ball pit. It's awesome."
But yeah, they're almost the future of like NACS, right? Those two players. They're very young and they do have a lot of talent. It's just how they're going to, be molded.
Time. It does seem to be the recurring theme, right? When we talk about Misfits, is like time will tell.
They have one of the benefits. I think there's a large misservice done to the younger players in NA that want to come up and become very good Counter-Strike players, that there's no leadership. There's no one to learn from. There's very few actual people who have risen through the ranks and have that experience that they can pass on and impart knowledge. So a lot of these younger players on...
What are you talking about, Jason? I think like they can learn a ton playing Grand Cast with Days and Steel. Those guys are, very experienced. They are always like have a teaching mentality. They will try to bring like up-and-coming players, teach them the fundamentals of CS.
There's some great tutorials on YouTube.
More another veteran of the game. I think it has plenty of role models you can look up to.
Serbian sarcasm. Bans are going down.
I wasn't even aware of
Let's not lose these ones.
That.
We have got ourselves Fnatic banning out. It looks like Cobble and Overpass from Misfits.
The weird one here is who's going to ban Nuke. Neither team really likes it.
Fnatic can answer that question.
I hope Fnatic... Oh, yeah, they already did.
I think Fnatic will probably ban Cache as well. And Misfits will probably ban Inferno and Train. And we'll be left with like a Mirage.
Okay.
Why would they ban Cache, though?
Who? Fnatic?
Yeah.
It's like an NA home map, right?
Yeah, but it's Fnatic. They don't care what your home map is.
Okay, well, we'll wait and see what happens with the veto.
So that's
Get
Inferno
wrecked,
going that one again.
Absolutely taking down.
So I can even see Mirage on Crimson's screen. Let's assume that's where this.
If anything, like Misfits are going to be scared of playing Cache.
There we go.
I think Cobble was the one respect band Fnatic gives.
You don't want to play Cache.
You saw them play kind of well on it.
Yeah.
You just don't go to that B-bomb site, right?
Okay, so this is, this is always described, when you do have best of ones, Mirage is often in the same kind of pool as Cache, as maps that tend to crop up a lot.
Yeah.
So we're going to need nice and swift predictions for this one. Does anyone want to roll the dice for North America, or is this going to be
If Misfits are to have a chance against Fnatic, they have to tilt them, because you could see yesterday that Fnatic were a bit on tilt. All of Meister had to push with the AWP down banana. Yeah. So if, they can win a couple of close rounds, couple of clutches, maybe they can, tilt Fnatic, but I think it's going to be highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely, but possible. Chad, same for you?
Yeah, Fnatic are going to win.
Okay, and Jason?
No, I'm taking Fnatic, barring, I think if Misfits wants to win, Shazam has to have a big game on the AWP, especially on Mirage.
It wasn't that bad on Cobble. He was making good impact on the T side, for sure. But I probably will join you. I'll join you. And I'm going to say Misfits. Yeah, that's right. I'm a Brit. I like the underdog.
Spicy.
Wait, did you just take Misfits?
I did, yeah. Believing in Misfits.
Look at him going with the
team name.
Look at him going for
the logo,
the crazy bets when we're not doing the actual chip.
No, he was doing them yesterday.
Oh, I was doing them as well.
He was winning yesterday.
We'll see if the success continues here.
Mine over
We will. Let's go ahead and throw our casters into the mix for this one, because we have got a rather split desk here, Anders and Semler. I'm flying that Misfits flag high. Miami Heat have come in. Yeah. Me. Just me. Just hanging out. None of you going to come party with me? I throw the best parties.
Who would have thought that the lack of champagne would just hit Alex that hard? Just straight wrecked him.
Yeah. It's all edge now.
He just couldn't function as a human being without it, and just started picking Misfits over
Fnatic.
Fnatic.
Yeah, alcoholism. What a joke. Haha.
Well, when you put a name to it.
Oh, man. Well played.
My job here is done.
Okay, we're going to leave it with you. The desk has suggested...
Wait to make me feel bad about myself.
The desk has suggested that it could very well be a sick and twisted victory for Misfits. We'll find out.
Jesus,
over
get
to you
this
guys.
man off. Right.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely unbelievable. Well, there it is. I mean, Misfits, they played a lot better than I thought yesterday. They really did. Like, infinite, I mean, twice as good maybe as I thought they would. So I was definitely impressed. And Fnatic, I would say, played quite a lot worse than I had expected. And, just picking Inferno and all the rest of it, I'm glad they didn't do that again. I think on Mirage, this Fnatic lineup, I think they're going to win this. But I am not convinced it's going to be a completely sweeping victory either.
No.
I feel like this new Fnatic lineup is a bit shaky, you know.
Well, essentially what needs to happen here for Fnatic is that they need to flush their memories clean, right? They can't they can't let what happened yesterday affect them, especially because, you know, they're on the border right now. They've gone back to an old roster. That's supposed to be the star roster. It's supposed to be the monster roster. Nice and shiny. Problem is, it's looking more like a relic right now. It's not really, you know, firing. Definitely looking dusty.
Yeah.
Maybe needs a little grease.
No, something is off, and I mean, I ran into Olaf afterwards, and he was not looking very excited. He was like,
None of them
yeah,
are.
I'm just tilted, you know, not feeling great right now. And obviously, they did just lose the game, but still, yeah, it's a problem because the team is supposed to function like that, right? They're supposed to be able to just find that confidence, just roll over people, right? So when they run into trouble, and you know, how do they get that back? They don't have, you know, like. Yeah, I guess they need like a hype man, you know, someone who can bring them all up to speed, get them ready.
They're too Swedish for that, Anders.
They are too. They're very Swedish in that sense, right?
They're too quiet. You know, it's just like everybody's just doing their thing. That like Fnatic in this roster almost like, and especially now after they've reformed, right, with these expectations, it really does feel like they're, you know, there's the time card to chunk into the machine. What time is? Okay, it's time to get to work. Okay. Time to clock out again. Gonna go get a meal, right? But chunk out. You know, that's how it feels with Fnatic. Doesn't feel like there's much going on there, especially after what we saw yesterday. But again, best of ones, and it could just be taking a little bit of time here for them to get the ball rolling again. The main thing here is that Misfits. It's just all confidence. Are the young players going to be able to go toe to toe with the likes of Olaf, of Dennis, of Crims?
Well, let's find out. It will be Fnatic on the T side and Misfits on the CT side. And Twist already off to a great start in taking down Dennis. Whoever loses this match is going to be out of the tournament. That's true for the next 3 matches here, including this one. So a lot is on the line. I think especially if you're Fnatic and you've made this huge roster change and you want to get back into it, now's the time to prove that it was worth it, that it made sense, and Crims will take down Relics for a 4-on-4 situation. A good shot from JW, controlling the bomb site for the moment. The full rotation in for Misfits, and they can't really stop the bomb plant, but Sean Gears with a great shot taking down JW, and Stick rotating in on the other side. He's going to get the click in, and that leaves Flusher and Olaf Meister 2-on-2. The bomb only just going down. Sean picks up one more kill. The flank is in, though. Flusher, they haven't seen him yet. He's going to try and sneak through with the he does get caught, and now a lot of damage in. He takes down Twist. Sean still in the bomb. He's holding it down. He's not. Oh, he gets it.
No, he doesn't.
Just the last second there.
Jesus.
I think Sean was on it for enough time that it would have been down to the last second. Oh my God, that's so close. If he goes back around the corner instead and tries to just sort of play for time there, I think Sean has it.
Yeah.
I was counting the seconds in my head.
That's exactly what Sean is banking on as well. He's just hoping that Flush is going to outmind game himself, but Flush is far too wily for that. Goes for the slow peek, spots what Sean is up to, and there's no hope at all for Sean. So now, unfortunately, Misfits, Sean in particular, doing some work to start things off. I mean, he's got 2 kills already starting off in the pistol. Solid work on his part, but especially considering he was working on a James Bond all of yesterday, basically on Cobblestone in the first map that we got to see Misfits play versus VP. I mean, he had very little impact. Hopefully he's able to keep carrying that on here, Sean. You got nothing to lose, no pressure.
They already lost Relics. It was a good start for Fnatic, even though it was so close. It's a bit of a shame that they couldn't group up and take him down, that Twist couldn't stay alive in that 2v1. But he's going to get the kill here on Flusher, which is not bad. Shazam clicking away wildly with the Deagle, and they'll get the refrag on Dennis. So 3-on-3 with the bomb down in favor of Fnatic, though. And Misfits, they don't have a kit currently picked up either.
Yeah, that's going to be the main issue here. They're just going to be playing for shots, but then the long lurk coming in from Olaf Meister gets the flank on Sick and Twist. 2 easy kills for him, leaving Sean Gears alone. And Sean is going to be wrapping back around, but Olaf seems to be wary of this. He seems to know what's going on. And is he going to actually just walk into this and give Sean the chance to put a 5-7 bullet in his head? Come on, Olaf. Is it worth the risk? And he'll take the risk and he'll win it, but there is definitely a chance for Sean to get a kill there. Maybe get that AK out. So a little bit of a risky play there coming in from Olaf, but it pays off in the end, I guess. You got that 5-7, Olaf. You took it away from him.
It's not bad at all here. I think Fnatic going to be happy that they get this kind of a beginning where they're not just, you know, backs against the wall right away. Playing on the T side of Mirage as well, definitely a strong start for them. And now they're playing against unarmored targets. not that much going on for Misfits in this round.
No, it's going to be a bit of a rush push here at Pit, it looks like. Dennis holding close with the 5-7, though. Obliterates both of them. And that's actually as good as it gets for Fnatic. Low risk having Dennis over there with the 5-7. They're not risking anything, no rifles, nothing. And Dennis picks up 2 kills, so a bonus $600 in his pocket. He's going to be happy about that. Dennis with 3 kills now, $900. Olaf and Crim's going to get the last 2. So very clean anti-eco coming through here for Fnatic. Question is, can they keep hitting shots like that? Is Dennis going to maintain this level? Because we definitely did not really see, a peak performance from anybody on Fnatic yesterday. It was a struggle.
They were all very absent, and it could have been the map. It could have been that, they just felt like they should have had it, and they had a good feeling about it, and turns out they didn't know enough anyway.
Yeah, Dennis's impact yesterday actually in that map was just abysmal. So he was hardly present at all. But then we weren't seeing the same, we were kind of seeing the same thing from Olaf and Crim's. It was a bit more even between the rest of the 4, but Dennis definitely had a hard game yesterday. So these are some feel-good frags that are going to be excellent for him to get that confidence going, for him to be willing to take some fights later on in the half.
Oh no, look at the setup for Misfits. Only 2 people really on this bomb site. 1 can easily and probably will be smoked off by the stairwell. That leaves Twist alone on the site here for the moment. He's going to try and take the shot. Sick tries to help him out. He comes up the stairwell, but he's going to go down immediately. Olaf with a triple kill, and that leaves Sean and Relics. They might as well just run away here. There's nothing they could do. The position there for Misfits in the A-bomb site was pretty much almost the worst possible, considering what Fnatic were doing. Very tough. They had a better position, Misfits, to deal with the mid, kind of take.
Yeah, that was the whole point.
Yeah, then they would have been in a good position, but for what Fnatic were doing, it just didn't really fit.
Misfits can't be looking for Fnatic to play a structured game. I think that needs to be eliminated, right? Yes, okay, mid-control, Mirage, it's going to be important, especially if you know that JW gets that AWP in play. You might want to start actually having that short smoke go down for Fnatic, and then you'll have to worry about mid. But really, I think a lot of this is going to come down to very basic kind of holds coming in here from Sean. 2-1-2 sort of setups, where you're going to be able to kind of cover all the bases and just hope that your guys are going to hit headshots.
Yeah, but I would say we see this all the time for any caliber of team. When you're defending the bomb side, it really is a slight guess as to whether or not it's going to be mid or apartments and slope, right?
But that setup there, actually, I mean, he kills Sick on stairs. Olafmeister gets all 3 opening kills. And actually, there were the 3 points of the triangle there for Misfits. It's just, you got to have a guy who's going to be able to win a duel versus Olaf. Olaf just wiped out your entire defense single-handedly. That's what we could see of. We could see more of that actually here from Fnatic than anything else. Just guys going individually ham.
Relics still not going to be burned by the Molotov. Goes for a bit of a peek, but he misses the opportunity and will get taken up by Crims. It's looking good right now for Fnatic. This is the kind of Fnatic we want to see. If they are going to join the rest of the teams that we think are going to be doing well in this tournament, like the Astralis and Northern VP and Na'Vi and all the rest of them, SK certainly as well, then we need to see this kind of Fnatic where they're looking strong, looking confident, taking a lot of fights. The other problem, and I think Moses was right to point this out, he said, Shazam has to go big with the AWP on this map. It's a great map for it, and he was good yesterday, but they need to be able to afford it. And with this kind of a beginning, I mean, finally he has it here, but it's the first time in 5 rounds that he's going to be able to pick it up. And if he can't make this work against JW or anyone else, it's going to be a couple of rounds before he can buy it again.
Short smoke is going to be down here in a minute. Oh no, they went for a window smoke instead. So they're just going to block Shazam out completely. Not even going to let him guess if anybody's at top mid. They've just removed him, and so Shazam going to have to move along. JW misses the flick. They could have opened up the B side and overextends it. Relics, he was working on a secret agent there, but he manages to get on the board. His first kill of the map, 6 rounds in.
Strong way to get started, taking out JW. Now they can relax a lot more. It's all on Fnatic to try and find the opening. Bit of noise actually being made there by Olaf, so got to be very careful spraying through the smoke. Takes no damage from the grenade, but he's still playing with fire at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, this is just going to be buying some time. Fnatic still have a minute left on this clock to work with. Still a decent number of nades, actually, to work with as well. Dennis the only one who's somewhat limited. Olafmeister actually going to commit a grenade to give him himself some space to work with. Looking towards Van. Now he has some room to maneuver. But they still haven't decided on where they want to go here, Fnatic. They're looking for a pick, but Misfits aren't giving it to them. I like this a lot from Misfits. This takes some discipline. Not going for over-aggressive plays here when they know they have the advantage.
Yeah, this is, I think, where Sean is a very good leader. He's not going to let his troops just fall out of line and go crazy. The bomb is obviously over by B, and that kill on Crims almost cements the victory here. It's not going to be any big surprise at the B bomb site when they finally come through, and now they should have the intel. They hear the grenades coming in. Sean's got the angle. He falls off it just as the push comes through from Catwalk, and Flusher gets a kill on Relics. They need to hold on here. Just 15 seconds left. Can they get the bomb down on the Fnatic side? Sean picking up a big kill and still alive on 13 health here, and he's finally going to be going down to Olofmeister, and it's a 1-on-3 though for Olof with 4 seconds, so he cannot physically win the round. It's impossible any longer. Misfits finally winning a round here. Olof will be going down even after the clock has run out, so a bit of a hit to his economy, even though they do have a really good one going for them. Misfits are on the board though.
Yeah, they've got sick money right now, Fnatic. So not necessarily the end of the world here for Fnatic, but this is what can happen if you're not going to have everything fall into place for you with your opening kills. If you're Fnatic, right, if you're going to try and play a slow game versus a team that has structure to fall back on and that has put some practice in on how they want to hold CT, Fnatic can struggle at that point. And we just saw that here where Misfits, they played everything right. They did a good job. Shazam trying to put some shots through, but that short smoke at the top of mid is definitely limiting him. JW again going to miss the shot. That could have given them the man advantage here, Fnatic. But he's slowly teaching, he's slowly teaching Sean Gares not to go for that kind of jump. Because if JW is going to keep being there, and if Sean Gares keeps going for that jump, he's going to get punished eventually.
Sort of an attempt at mid-control coming out from the Swedish side. Very important that you can get that. Shazam goes for a really big fight there. A lot of people on the other side, and at least he manages to trade the kill. A real shame he couldn't get back around the corner, because that's what they needed. Fnatic continue on with their mid-push here. Still got plenty of time on the clock. And the bomb is making its way over. Are they all going to follow up? Are they going to leave? They could leave Olof up there. If they get into the B-bomb side and Olof is still top mid, that's a powerful position to be in.
Yeah. He's going to be able to cut that rotation through mid. You have 2 players rotated over towards A right now. And Misfits, they've given up mid completely at this point. They're saying we're just going to just compact the defense onto the 2 bomb sites, look to support each other. Although Sick is thinking about rotating towards B. He's playing very passive CT right now on A. This is Sean Gares, and Sean Gares is waiting. He has no way to set up for a peek, so he has to wait and hold the angle, and he had to win that duel. Dennis is there to open up the site, though, and now it's on Relics to hit some shots. Boom!
Oh, that's perfect. Right before the plant comes through, Dennis goes down, and Relics buying valuable time for his teammates to rotate in. They know the bomb is here. He's going to miss the shot. Oh, actually gets the one on Olofmeister there. Can he get the next one too? Relics coming up with a kill. It looked like it was about to be off then, but he takes down Crims as well. And that's now 5-2 as a scoreline here. 2 rounds in a row for Misfits, digging deep into the Swedish economy. And Fnatic having to spend a lot of money rebuying all of this stuff.
Yeah, big plays from Relics.
Yeah, this is really, really just a great job. Really thought he missed that flick.
But what I'm kind of curious about is that, like, Fnatic still had utility. They still had nades to use to try and either force him out, Molotov it, or flash it, or anything, really. But they're just running in there looking for duels instead of actually trying to set each other up with the utility. So just a little confusing there, a little sloppy from Fnatic. But I guess when you have, so much money, they still have a full buy here coming into this 8th round. Fnatic in the lead 5-2, but they're going for the lurk. Again, not even using the nades, because why bother? They're just looking for duels. Boom, Olof, again with the opening shot.
Very hard for Twist to react to, and there's no warning at all, and Olof picking up another kill on Relics. This is gruesome. If you're in that bomb site and you're Twist, or anyone else for that matter, you're expecting for there to be a warning. You want to hear the flashbangs, the smokes, or anything go down that sort of signals, okay, something is coming, and I've got to get mentally ready. But when they're just on the site immediately with almost no warning, could be very hard to adjust in time, and obviously Misfits just didn't.
That's so tough, though. With the incendiary, the timing, Olof was just a split second too fast. But Shazam right now, you just need to save this op. Look at the state of the money right now for Misfits. There's a chance for Shazam to have the hero op if he's in the right place at the right time, but I doubt he's going to save it at this point. That scope, they know now. They know exactly where he is. Wow, Dennis still wins the duel. All right. We got shots. They all just look so calm on Fnatic, though, right now. Just like, another day, another dollar.
Olof almost looks like he's a bit bored at this point. Just like, I'm just having a good time making this work. Olof has been off the sort of #1 spot for a bit, but right now he's clocking in at 15-1-3 as a scoreline. That is not bad, and it is what we should expect out of this kind of matchup. Only yesterday's game for Fnatic did not look like it was going to be possible. This is a different question though right now, a different day. And they're going for a pretty quick push towards the B bomb side. Olaf again leading the charge, opening up, finding the 16th kill for himself. And that's the B bomb side gone already.
This is a force buy as well from Misfits. They elected to just spend all their money. It was a double eco situation for most of the team after that loss in the last round. So that FAMAS is still in play. Shazam getting some shots in there with the Dig. He's going to find one. But unfortunately, this is the best that Misfits can hope for. They're actually saving as well on the other side of the map already.
Yeah.
Twist trying to save that FAMAS. Sick is there to back him up, and Shazam backing off as well. So Fnatic, another successful round for them. And again, based off of just straight duels. Just walking in there and looking for fights.
So interesting to try and imagine how this is going to work out for Fnatic. Can they keep this pace going against some of the really, really top teams in this tournament?
I don't think so.
Because
you've seen multiple situations here where Misfits have had the proper setup and they've just missed the shots. Like, Olaf will not walk in and get 2 entry kills on A, or let alone 3 entry kills on A like that, versus a team with more experience, you know, with this kind of pressure. A more experienced team is just going to hit the shot. They're just going to shut Olaf down. So, I mean, yeah, I foresee a lot of trouble for Fnatic if this is the kind of style that they're going to keep using.
A bit of comedy in that round. I think one of the Fnatic players did go up with a bomb for no good reason, but not that they're really going to mind at this point. I think they've got such a big lead at the moment, and Misfits, again, you're right, they forced into the last round, and they don't have the money to really rebuy into this round, so a lot of trouble. Speaking about that AWP for Shazam, how are they going to possibly afford it? Dennis, is he realizing? Now they will. Olaf coming in from Connect to take out the kill on Twist. Otherwise, maybe could have been trouble for Dennis. I don't think he realized there was a guy in shadow still. Sick and Relics against the 3 of Fnatic.
It's kind of tough for Sean Gares as well right now because there's no real rhyme or reason to what Fnatic are doing, like which site they're hitting. They've gone in anti-ecos. They've gone to B site before. Nice shot from Relics. He's going to take him down. JW is out of it. Dennis gets caught by Sick. Sick, this is a huge round from him. That's his 3rd kill, making that AK count, but Olaf is still alive. The flash is there. He doesn't know if the defuse is happening, but there's the tap, and that's going to give him all the information he needs. Unfortunately for him, though, he's not what? Finally, Relics hits the shot.
Yeah, but it buys enough time. Relics, he can't get it. Just the fact that Olafmeister is there. It's enough for them to win the round. Fnatic going to win the 8th one in spite of an incredible performance from Sick. Very well done on his part, but how much is it really going to matter at the end? They're down 6 rounds here. Their economy has been strained a lot. Shazam, obviously, they saved the AWP, so they are going to go for a buy in this round no matter what. But this is tough, really, really tough.
So now you have some of the nades to challenge, except that you're really light on B. So it looks like Relics is going to be heading over there to back him up, and Sean, he's hardly got any nades to speak of. So that B side is weak, and we'll see if Fnatic figure that out. Sick finds a shot on Crims, and that was actually an underpass, an aggro push in mid. I love it. There we go. We haven't seen that yet from Misfits, so Sean's starting to kind of change up the calls here.
That's a really healthy sign. That's a good job. They're taking some initiative and taking some control of the map. Shazam, not much of a reason to go for a re-peek or any kind of a fight in the middle. Again, once you have the man lead here, just use that dangerous jump towards the AW there, but it's up to Fnatic to find an opening, and they've got all the time in the world for it. Still, they're gravitating towards the B side of the map for now, and they've got Flusher in the middle. This could be very interesting. If Flusher can get onto Catwalk while the rest are coming in from apartments, that's a nice sort of 2-pronged attack towards B.
Here's Misfits' answer to the situation. Shazam watching Connector and short and 2-1-2 setup as well. So they'll be able to have a quick rotate over towards that B site. That's Sick exactly holding here in CT. Shazam will find the shot on Flush as he was trying to inch his way up short. And now Sean boosted up. This is going to be a slaughter. Fnatic shouldn't have a chance.
Get the refrag there, and Relic's going down. Dennis finding it. Finally, Sick comes in with the refrag, and the bomb is dropped as well. JW sneaks a kill on 1. 30 seconds. This is where JW can be very lethal. He's going to get the bomb plant inside the smoke. Shazam and Twist, they can't really stop it in time, and now he's fallen all the way back in the corner. If only they had a Molotov, this would be a fairly easy round for them to win, but they're going to have to go and fight him eventually, and he looks the wrong way. Oh, no. All that excitement, but Shazam just gets the better timing this time, and Misfits gonna find the 3rd round.
There we go. 3rd round on the board, and, well, sometimes you just gotta catch a lucky break. Anders. Sometimes something has got to go your way. JW looks away. Otherwise, JW's got the angle, and Shazam's a dead man. And I can see JW winning that 1v2 very easily.
Yes.
But sometimes you're just going to catch that lucky break, and it works out for Misfits this time around. So 3-8. Misfits still pretty far behind, but they've got a second chance. They saved an op as well, so they're on a double op setup. And it's Twist, not Shongares, using the second op. That's something to consider. Flusha setting up the short smoke once again to keep Shazam guessing. But it's action A. Because Fnatic, again, they've got that bomb heading out over there towards that towards ramp, and it's actually going to start pushing right now. Very aggro play here. JW taking point.
Wow, Fnatic, 2 of their members are really far away. I'm not sure I'm really enjoying this. If they lose even one of the main push here, it's going to be tough to get that bomb down in time. And Dennis has gone down, Sick waiting behind the smoke there. Very good job taking down JW. Fnatic, this is a very weird push for them. Just, I think, 2 spread out across the map. And now Crims and Flusher are left 2-on-4, trying to get the damage in. Crims will be going down. Good help there coming in. Sean Gares from the catwalk, and Flusher alone. 1 versus 4, going to go down to 6. So the main push coming in from Slope is fine. They have 3 people coming in. That's all they need.
Yeah.
But the other 2, one of them was in T-spawn, rotating back from mid, and the other one was coming up from underpass, going into connector. So what I'm trying to say is there's no one from Misfits had to look anywhere else but ramp in that push. They could all focus on that one corner or the one part of the map, and that was all they needed.
Yeah, definitely felt like there was like some kind of timing there that Fnatic felt like they could hit. JW in particular just charging out onto Tetris. And then they slowed it down. So interesting decisions being made here. But this is the kind of random play that I think Sean can come to expect really from Fnatic at this point.
Well, so exactly that moment when JW comes through the smoke down towards Tetris, or towards there, well, that's fine. If there was someone from Fnatic there to distract Sick, you know, someone who could have been in middle and connector to make him look in window or anything. If there was anyone to make Sick look the other way, but obviously, why would he? There's no movement, no grenades, no one doing anything. So it's a bit of a weird scenario there for the Swedish side, I must say.
What I do like to see is that Misfits have succeeded in slowing Fnatic's play down quite a bit. Now we've got Fnatic really trying to slow this pace. They're sitting, they're holding angles, looking for map control, really. But, I mean, they've got that mid presence now. They've just got nothing going on A. They have no idea if Misfits have pushed ramp. They've pushed Palace. So very little info for Fnatic to go off of. They're just going to look to commit, it seems, onto that B site.
Yeah, and Shazam is still covering catwalk here. See if he can do it again. He did it last time, took down Flusher, but this time the smoke lands. That's a great smoke right on top of Shazam. And now, just as it pops, the push towards B is going to continue. They're not really rushing it, but they are slowly walking up in those hallways. 32 seconds, so they really need to get a move on here. They take down Sean Gares, and coming in from catwalk is Oliver Meister to execute Relics. What a great way to get onto the site. 4 versus 3. Bomb going to go down with 20 seconds left, and Shazam, he needs one of these kills. In fact, Twist is going to be the one to do it. They could still retake this.
We're watching a pug here, Anders. This is kind of silly. But it is a 3-on-3 now. They have the the post plant, and Fnatic used to be legendary at this sort of situation, very rarely making mistakes. Dennis will take down Shazam to start, and he's gonna get the follow-up as well on Sick. One after another, they fall to the man until Twist is finally gonna put an end to it. But it's still a 1v2, and he has no time to get in here for the defuse. So that ends it. But what I'm wondering about is like, Olaf, you know, why are you peeking that window at that point? When your boys have got the site, they're going to get the plant. You've got the angle, so nobody from Kitchen can actually get out there to stop that plant from happening. And it's just like decisions like that that make these rounds look closer than they actually should be. Match pause.
Yeah, I think we do have a timeout, so Misfits want to try and talk it over and see if they could come up with a way to win the last couple of rounds. Maybe make it 9-6, which still would not be a great scoreline, but it would be, you know, you could maybe do something. And if Fnatic are going to be playing this loose style that we've come to expect of them, they've got all the star power for it. It is usually easier to do that on the T side, right?
Yes.
There is a chance that if Sean has been prepared enough, if he saw this map pick coming through, if he sort of, you know, managed to guess that it was going to be a Mirage, he could have done a lot of work on the T side, and it could be more interesting. But I think they need to get to 9-6 before we can even start entertaining that. If they lose the remaining rounds here and it becomes an 11-4 scoreline, I'm not sure.
Can we get the camera on Sean? Well, I'm curious. It didn't look like anybody was talking there on Misfits. So maybe what were they just looking for the timeout here to just breathe? Because that does happen every now and again where you kind of just chill out and try and get centered again. But if we could bring the camera to the right, just one person, onto Sean, not going to happen. But I mean, Wrecked. There we are. Give me an angle. Nope. They're actually trolling me now. They're actually trolling. All right, he's talking. He's talking. All right.
Very focused, very very focused individual, Sean.
Yeah, he's like a laser beam.
I ran into him at the gym the other day, and he was just, like going really hard at it, and he looked like he was just in a different world. And I swear I waved at him like 3 times, and he didn't notice me. It could just have been because he thought there's no way he's going to find Anders in the gym anyways. There must be someone else just looks like him. But he was just. I don't think he actually realized that I was there. So I was. Here's us focused, zoomed in. That might be the only other thing that Sean does, like apart from watching demos about the teams they're going to play. He takes like a break and goes to the gym and then back to the hotel room and watch more demos.
We are just not seeing it though from Misfits. Again, Sean, 5 kills, 6 for Relics. He had a little bit of a bump there towards the 10th round, Relics, where, okay, we started to see him come alive. He got a couple kills. But Shazam, Relics, Sean, the guys with more experience, really, that we should be seeing more from, we're not finding anything there to support the 2 young guns, Twists and Sick. Twists and Sick, they're the show right now. They're the guys doing work.
Is the backup going to be there in time? That's the big question. We're moving into the 14th round. Great spray from Sean Gez. It couldn't have been better. Dennis goes down, especially with the M4A1. Impossible, really, for anyone else on Fnatic's side to return the spray. They can't see the traces with the smoke or anything, so in some trouble here. They've also got the sawn-off shotgun on Olofmeister, not on JW, and the MAC-10 on Flusher, so not exactly great equipment here for the Swedes coming in to the B-Rush. Mid-air, Sean actually missing the opportunity, and he's going to go down to the sawn-off. Flusher gets the kill with the MAC-10. What is going on? Finally, Shazam gets a shot, but it might have been too late. Misfits, this should be an easy round to win. You get the opening frag, you've got all the rifles, and now you're in trouble.
Now you're running. Yep, they're running. Basically, Twist is here because this is an angle you can fall off of, but as far as the rest of them, all I want is a replay of Olof there. That was so gorgeous. Just that air control from him, baiting out the shots. That's some sick detail there. And they spot him. JW knows exactly where they are now, so it's a safe situation. Fnatic don't even really necessarily need to chase. They have the money again if they want to, but they don't really need to get too crazy about this. It's a shame for Misfits, though, considering Sean with the spray through to start things off, having the man advantage in that scenario. It's just that Fnatic are so explosive when they move in together as a unit. They're just so explosive. They run right over the defense.
There's so many things wrong with what just happened, you know.
Look at this. Look at this. It looked better from Sean's perspective.
It is a good job, but I don't know. The defense there is just so weird for Misfits. They did not need to lose that round. Could have definitely been theirs. Now they in return are in an awkward position. The 1M4, the AWP, sure, but everybody else not really gonna have too much firepower to answer back with. And it is looking like another A push coming in from the Fnatic side. No grenades yet raining in. They could block off Twist if they wanted to. He's gonna put out a grenade. It does some damage at least. And now rotation, is anyone going to come help him out? Sick is there as well, and actually look at the spray coming through. Nearly gets the kill on JW, and Twist, that's a really bold peek up on that box. Yeah, open to the whole world.
That was a reach, right? Oh, and then Crims gets the dunk onto Shazam. It's Relics and Sean Garrett, the last 2 alive in a 2v4 retake on the A site. Fnatic in double digits here, and they're looking to end this 11-4. It would take a miracle for Sean and Relics to make this happen. Sean as well with the swag 7. What are you going to do when Crims is tapping away at you with an AK? Dennis finds the headshot on Relics. Crims, well, Sean, I mean, it's the last round of the half. There's no saving at this point, and there's no hiding. JW with the Hunter Seeker just lands right in his face. Boom. We're done, Anders. 11-4 in the first half. Fnatic just mauling Misfits. You know what? They are Swedes. They're fans of rabbit stew. And it looks like, there you go, right? They were a mite bit peckish when they were coming into this match, and they're currently just cooking up Misfits.
It's a gruesome metaphor, Sebla. I'm not sure if I...
tasty metaphor.
Tasty metaphor. I've never had rabbit stew, so I wouldn't know, but
really?
I have to say, I mean, there's not going to be much fat to cook off of Sean, you know. It's not going to be that great, I have to say.
50-50.
11-4 is the scoreline here. I mean, it's just way, way, way too much for Fnatic. It is. I think if obviously there are going to be a lot of Fnatic fans watching,
Yes.
And they will have been watching with sort of bated breath, wondering, you know, can this lineup come back and work? It's a big risk, and I think we've really heard from Chad. He said, I don't think this can work anymore. This play style has gone a bit out of it, and it's going to be tough to get all the gears up and running here. But it seems like right now they're certainly doing a good job. They are playing Misfits, so there could be sort of just the skill difference here, but at least it's good to see the Swedes doing better than they were yesterday. 11-4, moving into the second half. The loser of this match is going to be out of the tournament. This is an elimination match here.
Yes. And it is going, according to plan. This is the kind of Fnatic that will work just because of the massive gap in skill between the two teams. Not saying that they're complexity level Misfits, but they aren't far off. So Fnatic with the aggro everywhere, and Misfits just managed to get onto that B side very early on. Olafmeister going for the peek, holding the angle. Can he find a headshot? That would be big. Oversteps though, sick with the peek, will take him down.
Misfits finding just the perfect gap in the defense, walking right into B. They've lost Sean, but Misfits just calm down right now and just wait for it. Twist looking in right behind. It should be an easy enough kill, and he's going to get it. Crims goes down as well, and now it's pretty much a done deal here. 2 versus 4. As long as they don't go and take any ridiculous fights, there's no way Fnatic can make this work. They're also missing a couple of shots there. JW not quite able to land it. They don't have a defuse kit picked up either, so no, they don't have the time any longer. Misfits, just great job here in the pistol round. Walking right into the B bomb side, but also staying composed, I think, even if the afterplant here. Going to be a 5th round for the American side. Good news.
This is fun. On Nuke, we had Complexity and North both pick up their CT pistols, and here on Mirage, Fnatic and Misfits both picking up their T pistols. So, you know, teams are picking up at least 1 pistol per map, and so that's making it just a little bit more interesting here. I do like the detail there, JW trying to stay alive so that he wouldn't give an extra $300 to whoever managed to get the kill off of him from Misfits.
Yeah, maybe blow someone up with Kevlar, you know? They stay close and boom, go up with the bomb, then that's not too bad either.
Well, let's see, do they bite the fake? I mean, they shouldn't, considering the nade count, but that was quite a few nades going out there. Fnatic with 3 players on the B site now, and that's not the place they need to be.
Crims and Dennis over at the other side. Crims does have a CC at 75. Dennis with a deagle, but Crims is already down. So Dennis, pretty of a tall order for him as they come through, and shot whiffed right past Twist ear. I bet he could have heard that. But the rest of Fnatic exits, I think, is the best way to go about this.
You shot a deagle now, and it's kind of a hard gun to ignore.
It is. I honestly have no idea why someone would pick up a deagle, sort of, except for just the showing that you have one, because it is really, really hard to control the recoil on that gun.
Yeah, it sounded like a cannon. It was unreal loud.
Not quite as loud as the Barrett, though.
You did actually go ham with the 50 calibers at the range, man. The Beretta was nuts. We were standing like, what, 10, 15... or sorry, 2-3 meters behind you, and it still felt like we were getting slapped in the face by the air.
Yeah, a very interesting experience. We've got some video coming out about that at some point, so they managed to video some of it. Twist ends up going down, and that's pretty much the expected result out of that round.
That's a shame, Holof. He saves a MAC-10 in the end. Had he been able to pick up the UMP, that would have been a pretty decent play from him, but instead, it's the MAC-10. He passes his CZ-75 over to somebody else. It looks like Flush is going to collect that, and so we all know what Flush is capable of with the CZ.
What do you think? I mean, Olaf, MAC-10 armor, should we underestimate him? Maybe he could pull out something magical if he could just find the right push. This is a shame. He's just staying in B-bomb side. I wish he would have gone on an adventure here. Go and look for someone to kill.
Yeah. Oh, headshots coming in from Crims. That's going to ring your bells. Sick, down to half HP. And it looks like Olaf is... No, thought for a second there he was going to go aggro, but he's holding solo B.
Yeah, he could try and push up. I wish he would have done it very early on, just because it would have been fun to see him hunt for any kind of kill. Now, actually, suddenly he might be in a very good position to get this kill on Sick, but he can't. MAC-10 versus MAC-10, and Sick going to come out on top. Sean catching Crims, who was trying to just leap away. Stay alive at all cost. Flusher waiting by the cash register. Not going to get anything out of Relics except bullets, and it will be JW and Dennis now. 2 versus 5. JW hiding in the corner. Picks up one. Gets the second one on Sean. Oh, he's going to collect with interest there. And it will be 7-11 as the scoreline anyway. Misfits slowly trying to claw their way back in the game here.
Did he even realize he had an AK?
I'm not sure. I don't think he could have picked it up in time anyway, could he? So
he swaps to this. He's at, all right, whatever. JW does manage to have the AWP here in this round. Window mid, exact same position that Shazam was using in the first half. Shazam definitely favoring Window. That's kind of the classic position to take the AWP, really. It's just that teams are so good now at getting those smokes down. Either smoke to window very quickly or smoke to top short. Makes it much more difficult to get something out of the AWP. So you're seeing Operas try and take it more towards B halls, trying to have like an early peek towards pit or towards palace, right? They're trying to be a little bit more proactive with it instead of just kind of hanging around in jungle and window.
Oh, this is interesting. This would actually be a great round for Yanko to pick apart if he wanted to. Some really interesting smokes coming down towards top connector and window. Spray comes through. Flusher going to be going down. And now they're running in. This is just great play for Misfits right now. The grenades are so good. Still a 4-on-4, and Olofmeister going to pick up one more kill. They're being a bit slow right now and giving them room to work with. Shazam gets one, and JW flashed out. Can they get the cross in and get that bomb down quick? Misfits showing us some really great T-side strats here. I'm loving all of this right now on Mirage. And they've got control of short where the bomb is planted for. They're even going to boost up on the box. Nicely done from Misfits. This is just very cool.
That's as clean as it gets. That's reminiscent of the flash smoke combo that you see on A-site train that SK started to use a lot with Taco, where you just get that smoke down and you instantly flash him through. Your teammate jumps through. Boom. You know, that's how you catch the CT side off guard. And clearly it worked versus Flusha. We just saw that again here, where I mean, it all kind of fell into place very nice and neat for Misfits. The flash through the smoke on short, you run over Flusha, you don't really allow Olofmeister to get comfortable on the site. My one concern is that JW wasn't actually smoked off in kitchen or anything like that, so he was able to find a pick. Just kind of turns out that Olofmeister looked the wrong way at the wrong time there to get the headshot. If Olof stays alive, then it's not as neat for Misfits, but again, sometimes things just have to work out your way.
Yeah, I think especially the two grenades that land in the window and top connector. And obviously, if they don't get the first kill on Flusher there, it's also going to slow down everything just too much. But you can tell that there was a very clear plan, and they followed through. Didn't seem to be much hesitation for Misfits. Maybe a bit at the end, but largely, generally speaking, they managed to sort of all commit to that idea. Which it seems so easy when you say, but you'd be surprised how many teams struggle with that, where there's always one or two people just like a little bit slow, like, oh, I'm not quite sure I want to run through the smoke, I'm just going to wait a bit. All of us managed to sneak his way in with the P250, going to come charging in, taking down Relics, and then picks up the AK-47. Now the rest are going to come back and wonder, what the hell is going on? Olof's still ready and waiting, they're all grouping up, and the smoke not going to help him, just the whole team, Samla.
That's sad, the timing, but JW has an opportunity here. He gets the shot on Shazam, down to 20 HP Shazam. But still, this is definitely a situation that favors Misfits. 11-4, Fnatic ecoing, or 11-8, sorry. Misfits slowly fighting back into this. It was 11-4 at the end of the first half. But Fnatic are struggling to get rounds on the board here in the second half. We're seeing that system start to work, start to develop for Sean Gares. Flusha lurking over here on B site, and they are going to walk in, but he does get spotted from short. Unfortunately for him, not really going to be able to get too much out of that.
Just a lot of damage done to Misfits in this round, but nobody's going to go down, it seems. Sick, Shazam, Sean, all one bullet away from death. They're obviously going to win the round. Dennis, best he can do is exit frags. That's Misfits finding their way back to a 9-11 scoreline here. After a fairly miserable first half, just not a good time at all for the American team. But I think this is what we were highlighting as well. There's a good chance that Fnatic were going to have a harder time playing CT side, and Sean would be better prepared to play on the T side. And you just have to give it up for Sean, just how well prepared he is for all of these games.
He is that classic. He is the kind of, as Moses put it, X and O in-game leader, right? Coach kind of player who's going to get in there, he's going to do the homework, study up on the strats.
And he's got the firepower. Twist and Sick are actually playing out of their minds right now. They're just doing a fantastic job. So, yeah, I was yesterday, but again, I'm impressed by Misfits. Even if they couldn't even win this game, but even if they don't, then I still think they've done a remarkable job here at DreamHack Las Vegas so far. Relics, gonna be the smoke going up, landing on the other side for Catwalk.
Oh, they missed the smoke.
Try and block off. No, I think it's supposed to land for Flusher.
No, there's a smoke beneath window. They messed up their smoke on
that
window.
one. Right, fair enough.
So JW gets a kill for free on Shazam, and that's actually a big wrench in things here. Misfits, we're just praising them for all the hard work, the basics. Luckily, Stick is in position to take down Flusha. JW still alive, but he's managing it full blind. He still makes it out of there, and that buys time for Dennis to get in position and find a kill of his own.
Molotov to keep him back, but Dennis is doing all the work, and Sean goes down to JW. Dennis coming up with a massive triple kill, and that saves Fnatic. It looked like there was a moment of panic there where they just had to fall back and again. Still 12-9 here. Fnatic, again, we've got to remind everyone, they're struggling to stay in the tournament right now. This second half is not working out for them very well at all. Yeah. Even if they have the 3-round lead, their economy is going to be low even after winning the round. Losing here would mean going home for the Swedish roster. That's almost unthinkable, isn't it?
Dude, Dennis, what a beast. That was some sneaky snake kind of play there. Like through the gap, just spotting the guy jungle. That's unreal. What is this though? I mean, they're not allowed. I mean, I thought it was only 1 2-minute timeout.
Yeah,
it's a technical timeout.
I think it's Misfits who are doing
but they've already used a timeout.
Have they?
Yeah. So but okay. So I guess they get a timeout each half then.
Oh yeah.
Rules are unclear. So unfortunately, that's weird because if you get 1 2-minute timeout per half, then okay then, right? I thought it was 1 2-minute timeout per map. Still, Misfits obviously going to be the kind of team that want to take that timeout, and Sean Gares is obviously going to want to have a chat.
So what's the plan? They've already had one of the really cool strats where they successfully push middle into B and through B apartments, but how many more variations can you get out of that?
1 times 2-minute timeout each map.
Maybe we're misremembering. Oh, what else?
Looking at it written right here.
Is the 22nd round, and I would kind of like to see Misfits just go for a regular A push. I know it sounds so boring because we see it all the time, but I think it's worth the idea right now. Firebomb, go in for apartments and get the Molotov down towards Shadow.
Yeah.
And get the smokes off towards CT spawn and connector in jungle, and then hope that all of that the Fnatic don't have the right setup for it, that they've got everyone behind the smoke perimeter. All right.
This kind of win, though. I mean, this kind of round, is that going to be enough for Fnatic to get fired up and start going for aggro pushes? Because we haven't seen any push towards ramp, towards Palace, which is something that Fnatic used to do for days, right? They used to always be aggressive on A. We're not really seeing that yet from Fnatic. It's been push mid in the pistol. They pushed aggro mid, and then obviously Olafmeister pushing B halls. But we haven't really seen too much aggression on A, so I'm curious to see when Fnatic are going to change that up. And well, sure enough, there we go. Boom. Straight aggro push. A ramp for Fnatic very early on in the round, looking to catch Misfits, trying to set up for a default A. And that's so much information now for Fnatic. They should know now to start rotating over towards B. They're not going to hear any steps towards ramp at all.
Yeah, got to be very careful because, oh, that's a good shot. Flush are going to be able to take down Twist. Bit of a problem there. And if they rotate back, you're right, Crims and Dennis here. This is the setup that they have over at the ramp, though. They're going to spot Crims first, and then Dennis is going to be lurking in the corners. They're just waiting for it. Dennis can't be flashed because he's got his back turned. Shazam goes for the shot, and now it's just a question of timing here. Flusher gets the kill on Relics. They still don't know about Dennis, and that's the problem. Easy kill on Shazam, and now Sean and Sick are left 2-on-4 for a second at least.
Yeah, bomb dropped out in the middle of nowhere as well. So Sick, I mean, he's sure he's got some time, and he's going to try and make him think he's coming jungle, but he really wants to wrap CT. Using a lot of his utility to try and sell this fake, but he has to know now that there's 2 players ramp, Dennis and Crims. He's trying to figure out where that last guy is, and he's going to catch him in the back. No, Flusha was ready for it. And good awareness there from Flusha. Just didn't have enough HP for the duel. Crims there to pick up the last kill of the round, rather, but yeah, Misfits, they just, I mean, the aggression from Fnatic really paid off this round. And Flusha hitting that first shot on the push on B definitely threw a wrench in things for Misfits. Yeah, very clean.
Such a shame because it's kind of, it's a decent idea that I think Twist has because they've smoked off the balcony there, so he thinks I can find a gap in the smoke and maybe get a kill on someone on B. That's really going to sell it because they actually weren't even committing to B. They had the bomb really far back, almost in underpass at that point in time. So they were just hanging out. If he gets that kill, it buys them so much space. Now that they don't, 13-9, they're out of money on the Misfits side. They've already done the tactical timeout, and I mean, this is suddenly turned into an uphill battle. Fnatic have found their grounding. their base here on the CT side, and Crim's roasting Sean Gares. That's not a great start to a push.
No, it's going to be a burnt rabbit. So we'll see how that tastes, because right now Fnatic, they've got control of the situation. The clever boost through CT as well. Dennis will take a bullet to the face, but still he did his work, and JW's there to find the kill on Twist. Not going to get the follow-up, but there's the info. Should be more than enough, but Flusha falls as well. Fluffs his shots. That's not something you expect to see from Flusha. He should be able to hit that shot.
Yeah, and the angle from JW is also really weird. Why try and, shoot through the box and then stay out open in the middle and not even try and fall back? Bit odd. Now they're rotating the bomb back through T-Spawn. Sick is on it with 45 seconds left. And Shazam, he needs to go in and control that bomb site before they get there. And should be very successful. Fnatic, no idea that this is happening yet. They're being conned, Samler.
Yeah, they're going to have to play together. They have the life lead, though. They have the advantage there, and they have a single flash on Olafmeister, both of them playing with kits. So Olaf, he's going to be very quick up into B apartments. That's going to be a benefit. And then Crims can take care of Kitchen. So, all right, now we have to see who's going to win the duels, because they've split up, Fnatic. So it's all about hitting the headshots now. And Sick, oh no, this timing could work out wonderfully for Olafmeister.
He's got it down to a second. He sees the gun barrel and easily lines it up. Everything is on Shazam, and Crims is going to win that fight. So a great idea for Misfits, but obviously they needed to win at least one of those duels. That's going to make it 14-9. They're delaying the defuse just so they can go find that AWP. Smart thinking.
Well played. I like it. Stretch the money and maintain that advantage. 14 rounds on the board now for Fnatic. They're 2 away. Misfits, I mean, that was the last hurrah, because now you're in force buy territory. 3,500 across the board, essentially. It's been 3 rounds in a row here for Fnatic on the CT side. Misfits, they started strong. They picked up the T-pistol. But since then, it's definitely dropped off. And yeah, now you're seeing it. Tech 9s just so they can have some grenades to work with. And Twists even getting dropped. I like it, Shazam. Just hand it over. Shazam, you're not hitting your shots. Give the young gun a chance, because that guy is definitely doing some work. Sean doing the same thing. Very good here for Misfits. I like it. Focus on the guys who are hitting the shots.
The drop down there into Underpass. Gets the kill on Sick. Is he going to go for the repeat? Look at how little map control Misfits have right now. They don't have top mid. The flashbang is in Shazam. He can't see a thing. Can he return the fire with a Tech 9? He's actually going to win that duel. Dennis. Obnoxious spray doesn't really do anything to Shazam.
Yeah, but they still know that the bomb is down there. Yep. And JW's just playing off of that. He's like, bomb carrier isn't going to be alone. There's got to be somebody else around here. And that aggro push in B apartments as well from Olafmeister. He does get the drop on Twist as the smoke clears, but he had a smoke up there blocking it off. Misfits are just getting bullied this round. Fnatic are having their way. They will not be denied. It's going to be 15 rounds here unless something magical happens. Shazam not able to hit the headshot, and Relics, nice spray. Does take down Flusha, but it's still a 1v3. So 15-9, Fnatic on match point. And Misfits, they're looking at an early return home here.
Yes, they are. It's encouraging, I think, to see Fnatic come alive here in the second half, because it really didn't look like they were doing a very good job in the beginning. It looked like Sean had a lot of things that worked out for him in terms of calling and just getting the strats down right, but ultimately the firepower in Fnatic is just so terrifying, and when they get that kind of mid-control and the bomb dropped right away, what really can you do? 25th round here going to be played by Misfits with the Galil, the AK, 3 Tech 9s, and not that many smokes either, so this is an even tougher round to try and win.
Yeah, this is brutal. And especially, look at this defense here from Fnatic. They're expecting bread and butter from Misfits. They're expecting them to try and go A. They've got 3 players there very early on. And so all of the setup is here. And, well, Misfits are looking to actually rinse and repeat, I think, what they were trying to make happen last round. It's going to be a very quick collapse here onto the A site. Crim's holding close, though. He'll be point man, and he is going to win his duel. Take down Sick.
And there it is. Flusha with the final kill. It's going to be 69, favoring Fnatic as they knock Misfits out of the tournament. They're going to have to go pack. Fnatic certainly had some rounds where they looked like they were working the way that they're supposed to, but also I think a couple of rounds where it looked like the machine was getting a bit off the rails, and that's disturbing. They're going to be playing even tougher teams later in the tournament. So Fnatic needs to get everything up and running before we get to that pace, and it's only going to get harder from here on out if you're the Swedes.
It was a true test for Misfits. Not a whole. I mean, really, it's going to be the experienced rosters who can stand up to the likes of Olofmeister when Olofmeister's in the mood to just walk onto the site and get 3 entry kills. You know, it's like, okay, there's a few people out there who can go toe-to-toe with that kind of beast, but I don't think that Misfits today they had the experience or the firepower to be able to deal with those sorts of situations. Unfortunately, I mean, there's only so far the structure of a team like Shangers, right? There's only so far that kind of structure is going to carry you if you're not winning headshots, if you're not getting the headshots versus that kind of player.
Yeah, Stick and Twist, I think, did a really good job. Like, they had the firepower there, but Fnatic just had more, like much more. So interesting, and I think more work and more time. I'm impressed by Misfits overall in this tournament. I think they did better, much better, in fact, than I had thought they would. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they put up a fight. They definitely put up a fight. I mean, it's kind of a tough break for Misfits, really. A tough break. The groups were seeded, right?
Yes.
Off of recent results. So there is really no tough break. They were bottom seed.
Yeah.
They went up against Virtus.pro, who were top seed in the group, put up a fight, but still, you know, it went VP's way in the end after a struggle. And the same thing here versus Fnatic. I mean, I don't think anybody can be surprised with the results. But at least you're right. You know, Misfits, they did put up more of a fight. Got a few more rounds on the board than I think we were expecting.
Yeah. You know who could be surprised, though, is Alex. I think you picked Misfits to win it. But we do have Smix ready with an interview. So please, Sue, let's know what's up.
Congratulations, JW. It's also great to see you back in your Fnatic uniform once again. Of course, that was recently announced that you and Flusher are now joining that team again. So let's talk about that a little bit. Now that you've played with a bunch of different Swedish lineups, what is it about this particular lineup of players that's best to return to?
I think the biggest thing in this team is that every individual player is all about winning. Everyone knows that winning is what matters, and everyone do everything to win. If it means putting in 300 hours or, like, I don't know, boring hours of boring stuff, everyone does it. It's all about winning for everyone, and I think that's our mentality, and that's why we all felt that this was what we all wanted to.
Now, with this lineup, when this lineup initially first broke up, the players cited different various issues. Are you confident that those same issues won't happen again?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we have a much easier time working on our problems now that everyone knows that the grass isn't greener on the other side. And like the decisions we made back then it was very hasty decisions. We was like in E-League Season 1 in Atlanta, and we had like 10 days off or something, and we just spent it on the hotel, and like it's not good. Even if you spend that much time with your best friends, like that much dead time is gonna make you annoyed, basically. So I think it affected us a lot, and we did the hasty and bad decisions, and yeah, we can only look forward.
Well, obviously, you guys are known for your famous loose style, having great mechanics. Yesterday, when I spoke to Taz, he mentioned, oh, you're already nodding because you know, he said that he feels like that style isn't going to work right now anymore. So what do you have to say to that?
We will make it work.
So do you want to play VP in the decider match then?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, congratulations again, JW. Let's see if that rematch happens. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Sue. I like that from JW, saying he's willing to throw the gauntlet down to VP, and we'll see who's better in the server. Turns out Misfits weren't quite up to scratch in this one. They do fall flat on Mirage. I say fall flat. It was more of a case of Olof just going off. It's good to see a bit of old Olof.
Yeah, oh no, he had a really good first half, and I think that was the big thing, because actually, I wouldn't say Misfits fell flat. We saw some good things from them in the second half, but it's that classic case of if your first half is just that bad,
right,
you don't give yourself any chance to make mistakes. Even if you show some good things, you have to show amazing things in order to come back and actually maybe even win it. So good second half. Twist and Six still played well, which is always a positive sign to see. As we mentioned, those two guys coming up in NA are like the next standard bearers kind of that we're seeing. So I mean, some positives there, but just the first half was just too dismal.
Yeah, easier to find silver linings and highlights for Misfits than it was for Complexity, as Misfits are the second team eliminated.
Yeah, I find like the disparity between the low seed teams and then even the middle seed to hide in these groups, it's so large. They're hard for them to upset. You know, they don't even have specialty maps that they can upset these teams on, and the veto is never going to go their way in a best of one, vetoing down to the one map. So it's really hard, you know, and like we said, Twist and Sick is the highlight there.
Look at those frags. 21 and 17 for Sick and Twist, and then the next one you got 13 for Shazam.
Well, I brought up Shazam at the beginning as someone who had to have a good game. It's got to either be in the future. It's got to be either Shazam or Relics. Relics needs to be that player that we saw when he was in Selfless as like the last player on that team that was like, you know, had any kind of experience when he had to carry them through a couple maps.
Yeah.
He needs to be that player more often. And then, I mean, Shazam just, I mean, that's just, it's just because of the opping rule, I think, is the big deal there. That the op can have such an impact on the game.
Yanko, what was your kind of primary observation watching Fnatic pick up the first victory of DreamHack Masters for them?
It was that Fnatic is doing, you know, things they do usually, just simple stuff, trying to get to a bomb site where then they can plant the bomb and use their individual skill to secure the round. It was interesting. I mean, Misfits, in a game like this, you're only going to get so many chances. You need to realize that sometimes you're just going to get your head blown off and you're going to lose the round. But the problem is when you lose those 5v3, 5v4 rounds where you really struggle to find that early advantage and you do get it, and then you kind of throw it away with a bit of reckless play, right? So that's something you can't do when you're in a position like Misfits was.
Do you have a particular example you'd like to show us at the Magical Weatherman's game?
I have an example, because I don't want us just to be bashing on NA teams because of like my friend Moses.
Thanks,
here.
Man.
He's had enough of that. So there were a couple of things that Misfits did really well. And Anders actually pointed out a round in his cast, which we're going to show right now. It's actually a super important round. It's the second half, first gun round of the second half. So what's very important on Mirage, as you guys might know by now, is mid control, right? Having control of mid really makes things easier for the Ts, more difficult for the CTs. This is the standard smoke. But something that's different now that Misfits are going to do, the next step is throwing deep connector smoke and window smoke to keep denying vision for the CTs. So what Misfits do, they're going to throw those smokes from B apps, which basically saves the nades for the rest of the players that they can use for cat or whatever if they want to re-smoke after. So that's something that's very important, managing your utility and figuring out a way to do the execute properly. And now you can see the players on B throwing the Molotovs as well, forcing Olofmeister out of position. They go through their own smoke, trade with Flasha. Twists is on the lurk, waiting for someone to come from connector or window room, and they just have a really, really strong execute where now you can see the difference, what we talked about in the complexity game with spacing. You can see how their spacing is much better. They were always in a position to trade the kill. Bomb is being planted in a position for catwalk right over here. The two players are in a very strong position to play the after plan situation, and all in all, it's just a very, very crisp round from Misfits. One of those rounds that you kind of have seen on Cobble, where they get to the execution point, but then the execution is not really as crisp as you would probably expect, so the round doesn't really pan out as you want it to, but this was a very, very good round from them.
Awesome, thank you very much, Yanko. I mean, that's it. That just perfect way to demonstrate that, you know, Sean Gers is actually making some very solid baseline calls.
I don't want to be rough or anything. I think every team should have the base of that, like that general mid-control strategy.
Smokes,
you should have that in your arsenal, right? You should know that you can use those smokes and Molotovs to clear out that area and take that territory. Obviously, Flusher played in front of the smoke, which I don't know if that's what they were expecting. Maybe they wanted to isolate him in the vent room in that situation. But just in terms of the way that all teams should approach it, it's a very, very good strat to have, but it's very basic in this level of Counter-Strike, I think.
Yeah.
It also highlights just the importance of mid-control in this map, because if you're able to establish mid-control just with like the generic smokes, not even doing them from the B halls, that's when it opens things up, because those smokes, you kind of masks when they're thrown from that B hall, it masks where you're going to end up going, because usually you have some kind of more of a mid presence going up towards connector when those happen, towards window, and if you throw them towards B halls, that's when you can catch that B defender off guard, thinking that you know, this is normally what we see when we see some kind of heavy play in mid. So when you can kind of throw those smokes from different angles, that's when it can really confuse the defense.
I think it really, like for mid control, the importance of the usage of utilities of utmost importance, because you saw it how JW wasn't able to do anything in that round because of the smokes. The round, a couple of rounds after that, they missed the smoke for window when they want to go for a fast A split. JW gets a kill. It's not just the fact that he gets a kill, it's that, okay, the smoke isn't there, so we somehow need to react. Maybe you need to spend another smoke that you wanted to use for jungle when you actually push through connector, right? So it's the really small things that can make the difference when it comes to Mirage and mid control.
Okay, the small things make all the difference. I had that before.
Jesus. Also, using the full timer of those smokes as well, because those smokes at connector in that tactic that Yanko showed, the ones at connector and window were thrown like maybe 6-7 seconds before they actually started aggressing up towards catwalk. So you're using the full timer of that smoke to be able to do things.
Well, with Fnatic picking up the win, they have survived, and we'll get a chance to play a full best of 3 to continue to advance in their group. You can see they'll be playing that decider match versus the loser of Virtus Pro and Gambit. That's Group B done for now, but coming up next, and for the game's future of today, we'll be able to take a quick look at the games coming up. We see we have NIP waiting in the wings versus Tyloo. Will it be goodbye Tyloo, or will it really be NIP falling at the first hurdle? We'll find out after our break. You get to see Renegade's Na'Vi as well, just around the corner. Lots of good CS, best of ones for now in our second day here for the DreamHack Masters Las Vegas tournament. We're going to try and lock another team in for the playoffs as time does progress, but first it's time to eliminate another, and it'll be doing so after the break.
After the break on DreamHack Masters, Tyloo versus Ninjas in Pajamas.